Hi all, in this video I'm going to give the answers of the interview questions that I've discussed in the previous shot. So let's get started. So the first question was, why do we use super in the constructor of LWC? So usually we use super in the constructor of LWC so that first the parent components get refreshed and you get the refresh value inside the child components. Now what do I mean by that is super usually fires the parent component first, and it refers to the parent component first, and then comes back to the child component. So let's say this is your component. I am denoting C as a component and child as well. So what happens is you define the constructor inside this component. As you have defined the super, first it goes to the parent, it refreshes the values of the parent, and then bring the refreshed value of the parent to the child. So as your child is dependent on the parent, so it needs refreshed value from the parents. That's the reason why inside the constructor we call super, so that what happens is in the child first the parent gets called and we get the refreshed value, the correct value from the parent itself. Now you might be thinking, okay, usually I do not have any kind of parent at all. Why is that? I have to use the super in that case. In that case, you would have always checked that your LWC component is extending the lightning element, right? In this case, whenever you create an LWC component, it extends the lightning element. So every LWC component have a parent by default, that's lightning element. Now when you are going to create your constructor gets called whenever your component is created, right? So whenever you are going to create a component, okay, but it is not still loaded inside the DOM, but when your component is created, constructor gets called. Now in order to get the very new value, the updated value from the parent, that is the lightning element, in this case we use super. So if the child is getting executed, it is getting the most updated value, and that is the reason why we use super in the constructor of LWC. Let's move on to the next question. Now, can we access the component inside the connected callback? If yes, how? If no, why not? Now, the answer to this question is that in the connected callback, what usually happens is that, let's say there's a parent and there's a child. I'm going to name it CC, that is connected callback. So what happens is, let's say inside the child, what you have done is connected callback has been executed. Now, in the connected callback, whenever you call a connected callback, it goes and first brings the value from the parent to the child. So whenever you execute a CC, that is connected callback inside the child, it goes and brings the value. It first of all goes to the parent and tries to bring the value. By the time it's trying to bring the value, you're trying to access the elements of the child, right? You're trying to access the elements of the child, but what is the problem is that child does not have any value yet at all, because the value is still coming from the parent. So child does not have any value at all. That's the reason why you will usually get null if you try to access the components inside the connected callback. And the only reason is because first of all it's going to go to the parent and it is trying to bring the value, and if you're trying to access the components inside the connected callback, you won't get it because it's still bringing the value from the parent. Let's move on to the next question. Next is, can we define a property inside the connected callback? Answer is yes, absolutely yes. We can define a property inside connected callback without any issues. So this was all about the interview questions that I've discussed in the previous shot. If you found this video helpful, I request you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel.